Hello and welcome back, fellow tankers. You're listening to Coffee Guy, and today we're going to be looking at the Tier 6 British Premium Tank Destroyer, the Excalibur. This is a tank that I've developed a real liking for, and I've been excited for quite a while at the opportunity to be able to do a review on this tank. But before I get stuck into looking at the tank itself, I thought this would be a good opportunity to check in with everybody. So we're in week 11, 12, I don't know, I've lost track at the moment of the lockdown in the UK, and speaking from my own perspective, I'm starting to get a bit fed up with it now. I'm really feeling like the walls are closing in a little bit, and I know some of the restrictions have been eased and we can travel a bit further afield and have our social contact bubbles now, but it's not quite the same. I can't do the things that I would necessarily want to do on a sunny weekend like this, like go and meet friends in a pub, go and stay with people overnight, go away and do some travelling and all. So I'm really starting to feel a little bit, I guess, cabin feverish. And to try and counteract that, I guess I've been getting out walking, enjoying some of the wonderful countryside that Wiltshire has to offer. But how about you all? It would be really good to hear in the comments below if anybody else has got any tips or tricks for beating lockdown blues. One thing that I have really been looking forward to doing for a while is this review. Why? Well, I just really like this tank. Now at first glance, looking at it, you might be thinking, what's wrong with you, Coffee Guy? This tank is very weird. Weird for a couple of reasons. First is its really unique design. I don't know any other tank destroyers that are half turreted like this. And it's also strange because of when it was built. It's an idea, well, not built, it was never built. It was an idea developed at the School of Tank Technology in the UK in the 1960s. So it's a lot later than some of the other tanks in the game, particularly at the Tier 6 level. Now the idea behind this tank is it was meant to be air portable and it was meant to be fully amphibious. And to overcome the challenges of the casemate tank destroyer design, which is what a lot of countries were going for at that time period, they decided to incorporate a semi-traversable turret that can go 45 degrees either side. And it came complete with a 105mm low velocity gun, which was capable of defeating some of the latest Soviet armour at the time. Although it had to fire heat and HESH to be able to deal with the low velocity. Now it looks to me from this design like the back would be for troop transportation, but I can't see any mention of this anywhere, and actually if you look inside the modules it looks like the engine takes up most of the inside space anyway, so I don't know if it actually ever was for transporting troops. But unfortunately it was never made. And never actually produced in the end. So, how does this very odd design stack up in terms of modules and armour? Well, it comes with a Leyland 50 engine, giving it 500 horsepower, and a reasonably good power to weight ratio of 18.29. It comes with the Excalibur 76mm gun. And this is a really interesting one. Because it's obviously not the 105mm gun that it was meant to have in real life. This gun is a little bit slower than the 76mm that you would get on something like the Easy 8 Sherman, but it's much more accurate, and it actually comes in with an alpha damage that's equivalent to the 17-pounder that you would get on the Achilles, still being even more accurate than the Achilles as well. So it's a very fast, very accurate, high power, high punching gun. So you get 35 degrees of hull rotation, and you only get 22 degrees on the turret, which is a bit better than you'd get on the Achilles. But even though it's still slow, I find you don't notice it so much because you don't actually rotate that far on the turret. It only goes 45 degrees either side, so I actually find it's pretty quick. Radio range is 570 metres. It's nicely tucked behind the turret, so I don't find it gets hit that much. Ammunition is all stowed at the foot just below the turret, although because it's quite small and spread out, I don't find you get that hit very much either, actually. And all of your crew are lumped together in the turret, which is a problem because I found that you can get quite a lot knocked out in one go because they're so close together. In terms of the armour profile, Add 7 on the back of the turret, 15 on the back and top of the hull. So, and you are quite big, so it is a bit of an artillery magnet. Although you can negate that to some degree with your mobility. Only 25 degrees on the side. If you get hit, it's going to go through, and you're definitely not going to be side scraping or anything in this. And your turret is a mixed match of armour. 30 there, 40 here, 45 on the lower plate. Not particularly well armoured, angled, sorry, and 50 on places as well. But you know, at tier 6, you get hit, you're going to get penetrated. Pretty much every tank in the game is going to go through. I've very rarely bounced on this. Now, in terms of equipment, I've gone for camo, binocs, and vents. I suppose if you wanted to play this tank a bit more mobile, you could go for coated optics because it wouldn't have much of an impact on your spotting. So the only other things to mention before we jump into some gameplay are that you get a 43% silver bonus and a 30% XP bonus. So it's pretty good for crew training purposes. I don't think you have any. There's no other British premium TDs around that level that you could use to train. So it's a worthy addition to the garage, I think. And so without much further ado, let's jump into some gameplay. So we're on Tundra. It's a winter map, and it's a tier 7 game. I'm not going to complain. I found that matchmaking with tier 6 has been very bad. This tank does see up to tier 8, and I found a lot of the games I'm in it, I am up against tier 8s. So I'm quite happy that it's tier 7 and that it's on this map because, as I was saying, my playstyle is to play it as TD at the start, medium at the end, and this map has got a perfect little ridge for me to sit on here. Now, get straight to work on that 45 TP. Apologies that for the misalignment with the gun reticule. This is a replay video, and for some reason on the replay videos the reticule doesn't quite line up to where I was actually shooting when I was playing it. So he's well and truly disappeared. Tiger P appears. I try for one shot on him, and it doesn't quite connect, and I'm not going to duke it out with him. He's got way more hit points than me. I go for one more to see. It doesn't work, and just get back out of there. You don't want to be hanging around and wasting your hit points in this, because whilst you have got relatively lots at 750, it's more than the Achilles, which only has 640. It's still not a lot to be playing around with. So I move, and I find this AMX ELC, which is pushed a bit too far forward, and finish him off smoothly. At this point I kind of stop to reconsider what's going on, what my best move is next. I can't really hit any of these guys, but that Tiger P has appeared on the valley down there by the bridge, so I take a couple of shots at him before backing off. And then try to decide what to do next. And I kind of feel sometimes playing this, showing this when not a lot is happening at the start, it feels like, oh, it's going to be boring, but actually I think it is a fair point. Sometimes just be patient. If you know you're in a good spot and you can see that the map is moving in a way that your position's still relevant, then just stick it out. And as you'll see, it turned out to be the right thing to do here. I think all too often people don't get any obvious targets in a 10-second window or something, and they're rushed off to the front line and then get taken out, and they wasted a perfectly good position. All about the selfiness. So I'm trying to get some more shots here on the 45 TP. Didn't work. So I figure, right, I'll switch to the other side of the ridge and see if I can help out over here. So I was annoyed with that. I only managed to track him rather than actually doing full damage on him. But I have decided that this setter is going to be mine. Get one on him before he backs off. switch my attention to the Leo. Get another one on the setter. And again, you can see that really nice gun arc coming into play here. And this is what makes it, I think it works with camo, net and binocs, because you don't have to move to re-aim that much. I think coated optics are probably not really worth it. The only downside, of course, is this does encourage you to be quite sedentary and to stick in one spot for a long time, and that can put you at risk from artillery, so just be aware of that. No luck on the E25, my aim sucked there. And he's away. But I can focus back on that setter again. And again, I do apologise for the jerkiness on the video, it just seems to be inherent to these replays. I prefer to capture it directly in game if I can. But as you can probably imagine, when you sit down to try and get footage for a video, you just end up with a string of rubbish games and nothing worth showing, and it's only when you're not expecting it that you get really good games come together. So, I have a Tiger 131 making his approach, and I can play a bit of sneaky peekaboo with him. But his attention's not really on me. You can see he's trying to make a push to get away out of the line of sight of me and our other allied tank destroyer. But you can now see the other really good attribute of this tank, which is the .3 accuracy on the gun. And the really quick aiming time, which is only 1.9 seconds. So you can really make those shots count. So he's down, but now I make a mistake of falling down the cliff, trying to get a shot in there, and decide, screw it, I'm going to go for it. And this is when you can really start to play these things a bit more aggressively, like a medium, when you can feel that the tide of battle's turned, and that your team's winning. Because you've also got minus 10 degrees of gun depression, so you can sneak up on people quite well. And given that it's such a big tank, your camouflage rating is still 0.31 stationary, which is not too bad. So get one through the roof of that Jag Panther. Churchill was making a move. Managed to get one into him. One into him, and can we get the last one? Yes. But again, just having that mobile turret means you can pull up quickly and get shots in like that, whereas you might not be able to do it in a solid casemate tank destroyer. By the time you've lined up, they're gone. So now we can just focus our full and undivided attention on that T-29 over there. I'm not quite sure why he didn't turn to angle himself on me. But he's ours. We secure our 6th kill, making for a very, very good game in this tank. So there we have it. What do you think? Best tank destroyer for tier 6? In my humble opinion, I honestly think it is. I really, really like this thing, just because of that versatility. To be able to play as tank destroyer medium and to take advantage of that rapid rate of fire with good alpha and really good gun depression. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. let me know what you think of the Excalibur in your comments below. If you disagree, let me know what you think is the best tank destroyer of Tier 6. So I hope you all enjoy what's left of the weekend. I look forward to speaking to you all soon. And as always, let me know if you have any requests for reviews in the comments below. Coffee Guy out.